For more on how to tackle infrastructure spending, I'm joined by Steve Pruitt, senior partner at Watts Partners. He's also the former staff director of the Committee on the Budget of the United States House of Representatives. Steve, welcome to our program.
Well, thank you.
So much talk about money, funding, financing, infrastructure. Is throwing money at the problem the best solution here?
Well, I think the problem is we haven't thrown any money at it. In fact, for the last 25 years or longer, we've seen nothing but an overall decline in the spending for infrastructure. Cities around the country are begging for help with projects, large and small, and not just for bridges and railroads and highways, but for other water-related projects. I mean, if you look at our cities now, you can't even make it through a winter anymore without pipes breaking and having major water spills everywhere. So we're really behind the curve, and there have been studies repeated time and time again as we need to be spending something in the neighborhood of $2 trillion just to catch up.
And if, in fact, it's determined that it was human error for the excessive speed this train was going at, how does money come into play here? How does money prevent disastrous accidents like this?
Well, in this instance, again, assuming we don't know the outcome, but
correct,
if it is human error, one of the things that was to have been funded is a transition for Amtrak for the locomotives to a GPS system. It takes money to build in those safety systems and those safety systems. They have a similar system on the Asieh right now. They were building that and are building that into the remainder of the trains so that, again, that issue of human element as terms of speed control can be taken out. But again, that's just a small part of the program. I mean, the railroads represent probably about 12 to 15%.
So how do you prioritize between bridges, freeways, the transportation system? How do you prioritize these things? Obviously, there's so many projects, not enough money. Where does the money come from, and how do you prioritize?
Well, in terms of priorities, engineers would probably argue that you've got to start from the lowest and build up. So you're talking pipes, electric grid, et cetera, that's all underneath, and then build up to your roads, your bridges, and other things. We need really a two-prong approach, one that is a rebuild and then one that's a repair-focused strategy, so that in those instances where, like a city like New York has 160 bridges that they're struggling to keep open, you can go in and fix those things, but you're still going to ultimately end up in a posture of having to rebuild all of that. So starting from the ground up. As far as where the money comes,
correct,
we're not going to get there just on a gasoline tax the way we've lived the last 50 years. We've spent a lot of time, money, and energy in reducing consumption of gasoline in this country. It's at a low price now. You cannot generate more. You're going in the wrong direction, according to everybody. So it's going to take a combination package that not only looks at some user fee, if you will, gas tax related, but some other revenue sources that will help pay for this. And there have been a whole host of them presented in the last 4 years. There is a package that is currently coming together in the United States Senate. The real issue is how big is that package going to be?
And in Washington, where so much is about partisan politics, especially when it involves money and financing projects, are you optimistic this will not get bogged down in partisan politics?
Well, I'm optimistic for two reasons. One, I think accidents like this certainly shine a light on the condition of our infrastructure, but it also shines a light on our politicians who really have to come to grips with these issues. Second reason I'm optimistic is they do have some solutions that they've been working on the pay-for side that include not only the government involvement, but also some private sector involvement and partnerships where you can actually put together deals that will bring in private sector dollars into the mix.
Fascinating discussion, a lot to consider here. Steve Pruitt, thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thank you.